So, in March, there's something called March Mammal Madness. Basically, it's a tournament where you have to pick which animals will win in a fight. It was created by somebody named Katie Hind, don't know if I'm saying that right, to help people learn about science and different types of animals and their biology. It's broken up into 4 sections, one of them being mammal collectives, which is basically like herds of animals, kind of, and it also tells you what their herd would be called. And then you have Wild North America, which is, obviously just animals found in North America. This one also has the wild card section. Then you have Queens of the Sea and Sky, which is, just sea animals and stuff like birds and bats. Then there's Why Not Both, which I'm confused what this is, but it's cool, I guess. Okay, and this is my March Mammal Madness predictions. Okay, starting off with the Animal Collective section. Round 1. I think a pride of lions easily beats a labor of moles. Because, lions can just eat the moles pretty easily. With brackets, with tournament things like this, the first one is always the easiest to choose from because the first one always has the best versus the worst. I don't know why they do like that, but they do. Next, you got Glaring of Cats versus Sneak of Weasels. Obviously, the cats beat the weasels. The weasels are tiny. Cats are bigger than weasels. Cats can just easily claw at the weasels. And, it's just a pretty easy fight. There's no chance they could lose that. Then we have Romp of Otters and Conspiracy of Lemurs. Lemurs obviously win. Otters are again small creatures. So lemurs can easily just pick them up, throw them, whatever. The last 3 ones, lemurs, weasels, have all or both just small animals that can easily be defeated and killed. Plus, the lemurs has King Julian. Then you got beavers or hedgehogs, and beavers can just slap the hedgehogs with its tail and easily win the fight. And hedgehogs has to use their tails to make dams and stuff. So obviously their tails are going to be strong, and the pricklies of the prickle of the hedgehog cannot stand the tails of the large of beavers, probably. That's my guess. And then you got wombats or monkeys, a troop of monkeys and a wisdom of wombats. Now, wombats can grow huge, like probably the size of a small child. And having like a wombat fight monkeys would be awesome because sure, monkeys are pretty strong. They can there's horror stories of stuff monkeys did to humans, but wombats can just stomp on them and just chow down on their limbs. Wombats easily. A fully grown wombat easily beats a monkey. Easily. Then you got a herd of reindeers or a cauldron of bats. Bats easily wins because reindeers, sure, they can run fast, but bats are nocturnal. So say the bats just hide up in a tree until night time goes down, then like sneaks to attack the reindeer, like bites the reindeer's neck or something, and then easily beats the reindeer. Because the thing about reindeers is just how they're made. They can't like really, well, okay, they're not like, say, bears or something where like they get to claw. Same with cats and dogs, they can't do that. All they can do is run and maybe kick their back legs, but that's all. So bats can easily like kill the reindeers, especially if it's carrying like any disease and stuff. Bats win. Then you have a skulk of foxes or a stench of skunks. And I was so close to picking skunks, but decided to go with foxes, and here's why. So, if it's a group of foxes versus a group of skunks, then I think the foxes, because you can have foxes coming from the back, foxes coming from the front, all sides. Well, like they can like surround the skunks, and then um if if like say two skunks go for one fox and the match is even, then if okay, so if there's the same amount of foxes and skunks and two skunks go for one fox, then there's still a fox that isn't attacking anything and can easily take out a skunk. So only some of the foxes might get um sprayed in the scenario. So foxes easily wins. And to finish off the mammals collective, round one of the mammal collective section, it's dogs versus pandas, embarrassment of pandas, and town of prairie dogs. The dogs easily beat the pandas because pandas are slow. And sure, pandas can claw at the dogs, but they're slow. And the dogs are fast, full of energy. So the dogs could, even the whole group of dogs could probably just do one at a time without the other pandas really being too much of a problem. So sure, some dogs will get hurt, but I feel like if they take the match slowly, then dogs can definitely win easily. Then starting off round two, you got lions versus cats. Obviously, lions beats cats because it's a big cat versus a normal cat. And the lion can easily just claw at the cat, eat it, the usual. Then you got the lemurs versus the beavers. And the lemurs, I think, will win because the lemurs can, like, I don't know, grab sticks, use it against the beavers. And, like, you know, the lemurs can just, like, get down the tail of the beaver and then, like, use the stick and, like, stab the beaver. I don't know. No, you just gotta think. And then you got wombats versus bats, and wombats comes on top because wombats can claw at the bats, or the wombats could just get in a corner, wait for the bats to get close enough. Once the bat comes down to attack the wombat just claws at it, then bites it, and eats the bat easily. And the reason why the bat's couldn't do that with the reindeer is because the reindeer, can't claw at stuff. So, yeah. Then you got dogs versus foxes. And this was a hard one, but I was thinking there are a lot of different breeds of dogs, like canines and stuff. And I think if you got if you got like some good canines could easily beat foxes. Easily. Because foxes are just basically smaller dogs, but foxes can jump way higher. I was thinking at first maybe the fox could jump and then dive down and you know, get the dog that way. But the dog I feel like would already be jumping up not that high, but then once the fox did go down, the dog could just easily get out the way or jump onto the fox. Well, the fox is coming down and claw at it and stuff, and then fight. And then, starting the fight, lemurs versus lemurs, lions obviously win. Lemurs have no chance. The only thing lemurs could do in that situation is maybe try to gouge out the eyes of the lion, but the lion would be like jumping, going fast, knocking the lemur off its back. So, I don't think that would be a good way to go, because I think the lion can easily counter the lemur's attacks, and the lion would come up on top. Then you got wombats versus dogs, and I think wombats would win because they probably bigger than most dogs, except for maybe those special bred Russian dogs. But you're not gonna find like one of those in just some group of dogs, unless you're bringing a wombat to like a Russian prison or something, which I doubt would happen. And then to end off the mammal collectives bracket, we have the lion beats the wombats because lions are way bigger. Well, maybe not way bigger, but lions are faster, stronger, just can be a wombat in every shape and form. Easy, you can claw at it, and then eat it when it's done. Then to start off the North America bracket, we have the wild card one, and we have the Mexican free-tailed bat and the Florida bonneted bat. I picked the Florida bat, because it's bigger than the other one. And yeah, that's pretty much the only reason. It's bigger, so it has more of a fighting chance. And then we have Florida bat versus grizzly bear. And obviously, the grizzly bear is going to beat the bat. That's just really obvious. Because, it can claw the bat and then eat it. That's all it has to do. And then gray wolf versus badger. And yes, badger does have those long claws, but I think the wolf could easily win. The wolf could bite the badger's hands off, making the claws unusable. That might seem impossible, but it's a gray wolf. It's a gray wolf. Sorry about the mess up in the words. You should only be able to see it twice, but whatever. It's whatever. It wouldn't let me fix it. So, mountain lion versus kit fox. A kit fox is just like pretty much a little fox, a tiny fox. So obviously the mountain lion whoops that fox. because it's a mountain lion. Easily kills the fox. Easily. With no problem whatsoever. Wait, jaguar versus marsh rabbit. Marsh rabbit is just a tiny rabbit. It's nothing much. So obviously a jaguar easily beats the rabbit. No competition. Then you got an elk versus a yellow bellied marmot. Basically, a marmot is just another one of those tiny fur creatures. So now all the elk has to do is stomp on it. The end. And then black bear versus 13 lined ground squirrel. Obviously, black bear. It literally you could have every single type of squirrel fight a black bear would win easily. So then you got bighorn sheep and a coyote. Coyote wins because a bighorn sheep is essentially a ram. Sure, I think it can uh, have a good fight, but if the coyote sneak attacks from the back, coyote easily wins. No competition. Then you got the bison versus the southern bog lemming. And bison obviously eat a southern bog lemming. A southern bog lemming is just basically a knockoff squirrel. It's just another one of those small fur creatures again, which I think this might be the last small fur creature left. So yeah, bison obviously beats it. Um, because bisons are strong. True story. Then to kick off round two, the Northern America mammals, gray wolf beats grizzly easily. Grizzlies can be slow, and gray wolves can be fast. So gray wolves can just like bite the legs and stuff of the grizzly and easily just bring the grizzly to the ground and finish the grizzly off. And then the jaguar beats the mountain lion because both of them are like really similar in speed, but jaguar is 50 miles per hour and then mountain lions was 40 to 50 miles per hour. So there's a chance that the jaguar could be faster than the mountain lion. If that happens, then jaguar wins, obviously. The only way the jaguar would lose is if the battle took place on a mountain. But say if it just happened on flat terrain, nothing special, jaguar wins easily. And then to finish it off, elk versus black bear. Black bear would win because elk, they can't really fight the black bear. They would just be running away the whole time. So, just the black bear easily beats the elk. Easily. And then you got bison versus coyote. Bison obviously wins. Compared to a bison, a coyote is like small, tiny. Bison just easily does it. Probably like not. It won't take him that long to do it either. Then we got gray wolf versus jaguar. Jaguar is way faster than a gray wolf, so obviously jaguar wins. These battles I keep getting less complicated the more powerful they are, because obviously a gray wolf will have no chance against a jaguar. And then to finish off round 3 of the Northern American mammals, we got black bear versus bison. Bison easily wins because bisons can just ram into the black bear making it fall to the ground. Then black bears are smaller than grizzlies, so that means black bears aren't too big compared to a bison. And a bison just easily takes it out. And then jaguar versus bison. Bison obviously runs. Sure, jaguars are way faster, but bison, once it rams into the jaguar has no chance but to run. No chance but to run. And then to finish both the Mammal Collect section and the Northern America section, the lion versus bison. Bison beats the lion. Okay, so basically, like, again, it's just really simple. The bison jams it into the lion, and it just stomps it. It can stomp the lion. It's too easy of a fight. But yeah, so that means bison is gonna make it to the very final match. But we still have 2 more brackets to go through. Okay, so to start off the sea creatures and flying creatures thing, orca versus a common prawn. Obviously, an orcas are big. A common piranha is not big. The orca could just swallow it whole pretty easily. Then you got the olive sea snake versus a hagfish. Hagfish is like little blob eel things that don't really matter, so easily the sea snake can just bite it from the side and then like just take it from there and eat it all. Then you got a common map turtle versus a northern jacana. A jacana is just a bird in the common map turtle is literally just a little turtle. So yeah, the bird just has to stand on the shell of the turtle, and then peck the head of the turtle, and then boom, wins. Kills the turtle, wins. Then you got the blanket octopus versus anglerfish. Dude, the blanket octopus is very big and could easily bite the anglerfish because, just wrap the tentacles around it, have it slowly come to the octopus's mouth, maybe ink it a little bit, and then eat it. Simple as that. Then you got the macaroni penguin and the Electrus parrot. And as much as I love the macaroni penguin and as intimidating his eyebrows are, the parrot wins because the penguin doesn't really have that many attacks. It can only try to go away and slide away. So the parrot just has to go on the head of the penguin, peck the head, and the face, and until the penguin's done, which is a long and gruesome battle, but a parrot wins. Then you got Arctic tern versus Indian fruit bat. The Arctic tern wins because if it's during the day, the bat's sleeping, the tern just goes up in there, easily eats the bat. It's that simple. And then to finish off round 1, we got the Hawaiian monk seal versus the Iberian riddled newt. I have no idea how to pronounce any of that. But the seal easily wins because it's a lazy seal that looks like it's just a big baby fighting a kind of a lizard type thing. That's basically what a newt is. It's basically a lizard, just a little different. And the seal just has to wait for the lizard to crawl up, and then boop, eats it. And then yeah, got the seal happy. Orca, versus sea snake. Obviously, orca wins. Just one gulp, and sea snake gone. And then you have Jacana versus the blanket octopus. And the northern jacana is a bird, so once it goes into the water, the octopus wins. Like, there's literally no way the jacana can win that. Then you got the Electus parrot and the stellar sea eagle. The sea eagle easily beats the parrot. The parrot is smaller, so eagle easily wins. Then you got a tern versus a seal. Arctic tern versus a Hawaiian monk seal. The seal will just be sitting there while the tern comes, and the seal can't really fight the bird. So just like the penguin versus parrot, it's gonna have to go the same way where the bird just has to peck at the head, and it's gonna take a long time, and it's gonna look very gruesome. But the bird comes on top of the tern. The Arctic tern wins. Then for round 4, we got orca versus blanket octopus. The orca is way bigger than the blanket octopus, and that's the only reason why the orca would win. If the octopus was the same, is as big as the orca, or just even a little smaller, then I think the octopus would win. But because it's not, orca definitely takes the win on this one. Then you got eagle versus tern, and it's just eagle comes down to who's the strongest bird, and that has to go to the Arctic or stellar sea eagle. The Arctic tern loses. Okay, and then for who goes into the semifinals, it goes orca versus eagle, and again, once the eagle goes into the water, the orca obviously wins. So, orca. Okay, so then walrus versus lichen, and I tried to find out what a lichen was, but all that came up was these little organisms that grew in certain areas. And so I'm gonna have to say walrus because I don't know if lichen is supposed to be something else. It's just for some reason I can't find anything. So yeah. But if all that lichen is the like plant thing organism, then obviously walrus just eats it. Then you have the Matajak and the Echiding. I have no idea how to pronounce any of them. The Montajak is just like, I don't really know how to explain it. Just think about an anteater, but cut off the long nose mouth thing, and then put that head on top of a orange mountain lion. I know that makes no sense. But and then an Enchindana Sapatapta, whatever it is, it just kind of like a mole, but cooler. It's like if a mole and a hedgehog had a baby, it would be an Echinadas. But yeah, the Montajak wins. And then you got the serval and the lesser and the short-tailed bat. And the serval is just like if you took a normal cat head and put it on a cheetah. That's pretty much what it is. And then it would be a lot shorter, but still bigger than a normal cat. But yeah. And then the lesser NZ short-tailed bat is just another type of bat. And so obviously the cheetah cat thing is gonna be the bat. Like, come on. And then you got the pangolin, which basically, you know that Pokemon that is like orangish yellowish and it rolls up into a ball? It's literally the real life version of that, which is awesome. And then the planted, whatever, redstart is just a type of bird. And the bird can't really peck at it if the real life Pokemon is balled up. In real life, it's not like an actual ball like it is in Pokemon, but it's like in a swirl kind of, and the bird's not going to be able to peck that. So obviously, the penguin goblin wins. Then you have a therapsid and a scrandrabid. That word is way too long, and the other one I cannot pronounce. But basically, the one that sounds like therapist was one of the very first land mammals, so that's actually pretty interesting. Obviously extinct. And then the other one that's called Scansauropterygiid, I have no idea how to say it, is some type of like bird dinosaur thing, but it's not that big. So the land mammal wins. I think. I don't know. I wasn't around in prehistoric times, so couldn't tell you. And then you got the lungfish versus spotted salamander. Lungfish lives underwater. Spotted salamander doesn't really live underwater. So, obviously the lungfish wins. Then you got the hairy frogfish and just hairy frog. The hairy frogfish wins because, first of all, it like swallows things super fastly. Second of all, hairy frog doesn't live underwater, so hairy frogfish has to win by default. And then you got the swordfish versus leaf frog, or leaf slug. Sorry. Obviously, the swordfish beats the leaf slug. It's a little slug. Come on. And swordfish very very powerful. Then the walrus versus muntjac. The muntjac doesn't really have any attacks, so gotta go with walrus. Then you got pangolin versus serval. Pangolin can just go in the swirl thing, and then serval can do nothing, and then pangolin can just fight it whenever it gets a chance. And then therapid versus lungfish. Well, lungfish lungfish wins by default since therapid can't go in water or can't fight underwater. Then you got sword versus frogfish. Swordfish wins because you can just chop off the frogfish, and the swordfish is a little too big for the frogfish to swallow, and it doesn't, and the frogfish can't really bite it. So swordfish wins. Then you got walrus versus pangolin, and same thing with all the other pangolin fights. He goes in swivel, the enemy can't attack him because it's ineffective, and then once he has a chance, he fights it and wins. Then swordfish versus lungfish. Swordfish cuts it up, the end. Then penguin versus swordfish. I usually do water creatures win by default, this one I'm gonna, since Penguin did so good, I'm just gonna say Penguin wins by default because waterfish can't go on land. And then you got the orca versus penguin. Orca obviously beats it in going on. So orca goes on to the finals to fight the bison. And then we got the orca versus bison. Now for this, the bison doesn't lose by default, and neither does the orca. So because it was the final champion, I wanted to think about this in a way that doesn't feel like a cop-out. So, let's say this battle was on land, and somehow the orca had legs. The orca would still win, because the orca is way bigger, so it could easily defeat the bison, because bigger, it would probably be stronger, so boom. And then, let's say it was in water, so orca's bigger. Doesn't change. Orca's mouth is bigger. It could easily chomp off the bison's head. Like, that simple.